Good morning and welcome to another one of Charlie's hikes. Today I'm walking on the Cascade Trail, which is a rails to trails trail. It's basically flat, slight uphill going out here, but really very slight. Taking it out of Sedro-Woolley, heading eastbound. This trail goes about 20 miles all the way out to the town of Concrete. Then you can turn back and make it a 40-mile trip. I'm definitely not doing 40 today, but I'm gonna see what I can do. I'd like to get at least 20 in. Got my pack fully loaded down with 28 pounds. It's about, which is close to what I think the max weight will be this summer on the PCT. Weather looks good, about 81 degrees for the high today. It's about 50 right now. Still tweaking my pack base weight with a variety of different options, and it should be a beautiful day. Gonna walk along the Skagit River today, enjoy the hike, enjoy the views. Thanks for coming along. One time I rode my bike out this way. This is a really nice bike ride. And there's an elk herd that roams out here between Northern State Recreation Area and a lot of the farmlands. And I encountered it in this fenced area. A couple of bull elk started heading back towards me to defend the herd, and I took off the other direction for a while. And then eventually the herd moved off the side of the trail. But you gotta watch out for elk out here. It's more of a wild environment than you might expect. This is the Cascade Trail's version of the Green Tunnel. This is one of the cooler parts of the trail. Literally cooler. But also just kind of neat from an optical perspective. say this is the most exciting area of the Cascade Trail, Wiseman Creek. In the winter, it's typically flooded. In the summer, it's usually passable on foot and definitely on bike. And I'm in between here in May, so we'll see what we got down here. It's been extraordinarily hot, and it was a winter with low snowpack. So looks like somebody improvised a bridge here. This is an easier, at least at this channel. The next one looks pretty light as well. So that section of the Cascade Trail between Sedro-Woolley and the town of Wiseman, where I'm coming into now, is a part of the Pacific Northwest Trail. It's shown as a blue line on the far out map, so kind of an alternate option to hike down there in the Sedro-Woolley. And folks come off of Lyman Hill, the mountain in the background there, to make that approach. the trail also goes, the main red line goes up and around Lyman Hill and then over to Anderson Mountain. It keeps going and comes from off there to the right, up on the ridges. So a little bit on the Pacific Northwest Trail. Pacific Northwest Trail Association is located in Sedro-Woolley. That's where the headquarters is. So kind of nice to have a blue line coming into town. Crossing an old steel section of rail bridge here with a new pedestrian bridge built inside of it. So I'm going to do 25 miles today. I'm a little over 10 miles into it one way out, so at 12 and a half I'm going to turn back, and it's been great so far. It's a little after 9 o'clock. The sun will be an issue later, so I'm gonna pull up my hoodie, pull down my sleeves, and get into that. But it's been a great training hike. I hope you enjoy the Cascade Trail. I'll shoot a few interesting things on the way back after I turn around if I see them, but otherwise this is the bulk of the scenery, with the exception of another 1.5 to 2 miles coming up here. Wanted to mention as well, I'm doing this one flat 25 miles because Memorial Day weekend I'm going to aim to do about 100 miles on the Pacific Northwest Trail. Not the most glorious section of the trail, but I'm looking to hike from Anderson Mountain north of Sedro-Woolley to Eby's Landing, which is west of Sedro-Woolley over on the coast where the ferry goes to Port Townsend. So I'll be hiking through the last few mountains on the PNT in that area, and then down along the water a fair amount to eventually get to Eby's Landing. So wanted to get a good 25-mile hike in with weight on level, because some of that's going to be level, quite a bit of it, just to get my legs ready for that, get my body ready for that. And I think that'll be well, I'm looking for mileage right now for training for the PCT, so I think that'll be another good step up. Got another planned hike at Ross Lake, where I hiked to Canada and back, which is another relatively long one, over 70 miles in 4 days. And I'm going to add some mileage onto that to get it up, I think around 90. So that's coming up in June. So July is the PCT. So I got end of May, Pacific Northwest Trail section, and then Ross Lake in June, and third week in June, before wrapping up with the PCT for 3 weeks in July. I met a bunch of other stuff after that, but more my standard kind of stuff for the year, with the exception of the Trans-Catalina Trail. That is planned for October. So Catalina Island in Southern California. I'm going to a conference down there, and I'm gonna add a few days onto it and head out there to Catalina Island. So that'll be something to look forward to for October. All right, thanks again for joining me on another one of Charlie's hikes. I believe that was a casualty of our storm last winter, so I'm pretty sure it was here the last time I was here. There's a bridge out down there, so I'm going to walk the road for a little bit and then get back on the trail. The trail gets a little wilder out here towards Hamilton. This construction over here is Janicki Industries, one of the largest industries, very heavily into aerospace and some other things. One of the largest industries in the area. Soon to be, I believe, the largest employer in Skagit County. Building more buildings. We got another bridge out up here. I have to assess this one. I haven't been this far out on this trail in a long time, so hard to know what is damage from last winter's storm versus what was out before. I just don't really remember. Well, this is pretty impressively jacked up. Let's see, it got knocked completely off its foundation. Well, mainly as I get ready to do some wild water crossings this summer, I'm gently walking across this thing to kind of feel it out. I'm going to make a left turn up here. Seems to be okay. Looks like I'm not the first person to do this. I only have 0.6 miles to go, but last 0.6, or actually the last mile and a half or so, it's turned into a bit of an adventure. All kinds of interesting obstacles. Well, I'm coming down to this nice little break spot, and there's a pond, and I just went over 12.5, so it's perfect. Take a quick break here and then start the trip back.